Good,
Going.
thank you.
Josh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I could hear a little bit of your Spanish during the last class, so how did you learn it? Because it's pretty good.
Thanks. I guess just living in Costa Rica, you pick it up. I learned it a little bit in school too, so I studied for a while.
You just picked it up? Didn't take
Excuse me?
classes Did you just pick it up?
Not in
Didn't you
Costa
take
Rica.
classes in Costa Rica?
Yeah. No, I mean I play a lot of soccer, so I mean you kind of have to pick it up, or you're just the butt of every single joke ever. So that's kind of unpleasant. Also, I had a friend who lived in Mexico, and so I was living in Mexico for a little while, and his grandfather, who we were living with, was almost deaf, so you had to shout everything if you wanted to be understood, and so that helps with your pronunciation, I guess. Just shouting at
Mm.
people in Spanish. But
You know
yeah,
what? What's funny that you have when I heard you speaking, you have like the Spanish accent, like Spaniard. A little
I'm
bit. I
trying
don't
to
know why.
I'm trying to get rid of that. Probably because the people in school when I was learning for the first time, a lot of them had studied in Spain, so I'm not really sure why that is. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it though.
It sounds fine.
Okay. But good. And so, David, what have you done today?
Um, yes, well, let me think. In the morning, I went to a a medical appointment, and I went at more or less 10 in the morning. After that, I went to downtown here in Bogota because
No
I had,
two. I just went downtown.
okay, I went downtown because I had to need a medicine, um, and I come back home. And
Okay.
after that, not so much
Nice. Okay. Because I needed medicine,
because yes, in
or
the
I had to
past
get up.
I needed medicine.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
I had to pick up some medicine. You could say as well.
Uh-huh.
And Julio.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Julio, what are you gonna do tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's Sunday, so probably I'm gonna go to church in the morning with my son. I'm not a religious person, but I'm trying to get my son into, believing something.
Okay.
So I just go there and try to listen to, the priest and try to take in the good stuff.
Nice.
And after that, probably we're gonna have breakfast. We like Mexican traditional food. Probably you know a little bit about it.
Chilaquiles.
Yeah, chilaquiles, picadas, and piñatas, and all that stuff. And after that, probably just gonna spend the rest of the afternoon with my son. Probably I'll take him to the movies, or we'll just rent some movies and watch them at home. Pretty standard Sunday for me. I'm kind of a homeboy. I prefer to stay at home. But my kid, he's kind of hyperactive. He has a lot of energy, so sometimes I gotta take him somewhere to
Nice.
get rid of all that energy.
Makes sense. How old is he?
He's 8.
Okay.
His English is pretty good. I think it's better than mine.
Nice. That's good. I guess starting young helps a lot. But yeah, that is really good.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
that's good. Go ahead.
just one thing. You know what I did with him? I just forbade him to watch TV in Spanish. So since he was very
Nice.
little, I started to, sapping all the cartoons to English, and that's how he picked it up, just by watching cartoons in English.
That's awesome. That's a really great idea. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a kind of the same idea that a lot of people do when they're learning a language later is they decide to read the news only in English, or they'll watch TV in English. But yeah, to start it young, that sounds like a great idea because kids generally like watching television a great deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes I
keeps them
watch.
from watching television all the time too.
Sometimes I watch cartoons with him, and I cannot understand what they're saying, but he understands everything, and
Explains it.
sometimes he explains it to me. Because like
Cool.
kitty talk, they have like their own words and
Yeah,
jokes and stuff that
their
we
own
don't
slang.
get. Yeah, their own slang.
Yeah, for sure. Really good idea. Okay, good. Let's get started with today's class. So we're going to be talking about carnivals. And David, can you read the title in the next few lines?
Okay, Joshua. Carnivals and fairs. Today we will read about traveling carnivals, practice roles playing event at the carnival, tell stories about the carnival.
Nice. And Heidi, welcome to class. Heidi, how's it going?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Heidi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's pretty early there. It's like 6?
Now 8
8.
a.m.
Okay, so it's a little bit better. All right, David, can you ask Heidi this first question?
Sure. What is the difference between a traveling carnival and carnival, the festive time before Lent?
I'm not sure about that. Maybe some company or group always work in a carnival or travel in many places, but the festive time, I don't know, different what? I don't know what different.
Okay,
But
good.
another festival is held by the local government or a community, so it's different. It might be different. My
Yeah.
guess. My guess.
Okay, so definitely. So like a traveling carnival is a group that travels a lot of places. Um,
Kind of professional.
Julio, what's? Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Definitely.
professional. Then another festival is a local festival is held by the local government or community.
Okay, yeah, and so carnival would be held by a government or a community for sure. Um, Julio, can you explain a little bit more what carnival is?
Sure. It's usually an event where people gather to um have fun. Some carnivals are cultural, and like I know there's this carnival, I just forgot the name, where people dress up like knights, and like if they were in um the 1500s or something like that. And medieval carnival, something like that.
That sounds more like a medieval fair.
Oh, then I'm complete. Then I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought that was a carnival.
Okay, that's yeah. I think it's a fair. They're very similar, slightly different. But yeah, the medieval fair, people would dress up like knights and stuff, and they'd have like jousting matches and things. All right, maybe David, can you explain what Carnival is, the time before Lent?
I think this a religious thing, Joshua, no?
Hmm.
But I forget the most part.
Okay. So it's like right before a holiday where you're not supposed to, you know, partake in like drinking or partying or things like that. And so Carnival would be the time before Lent. It's in Catholic countries, especially if you go to like Brazil. Carnival is a really big celebration. If you look for like Carnival in Rio, they have lots of parades and things like that. And carnivals in general are traveling circus amusement park, fair type of things. So they're kind of like a mix between all of those things, and they travel around. So that's the difference between the two of those. Does everybody understand that?
But Joshua, is the Holy Week when Jesus Christ died and the Catholic celebrate this date?
Okay. Yeah, sort of. It's the time right before then. So it's before the 40 days before uh,
Uh,
Easter, I guess. So
it's before the 40 days.
yeah, so the 40 days before Easter, it's but like a Christian holiday, um, and it's usually 6 or so weeks before Easter Sunday. Does that make sense?
Ah, I know. Okay, I get the word in Spanish. It's Cuaresma.
Quaresma, yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And Claudio, Claudio, welcome to class. How are you doing?
Yo, doing well, Joshua. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Um, all right. And so, is everybody all set with the difference between a traveling carnival and carnival, the time before Lent or Quaresma?
Right. Yes.
No, I honestly don't know.
Okay. So if you look at Carnival in, let's get a picture of Carnival in Rio. Sorry, hold on. Generally, they have like floats, and it's a parade, and you've got people lined up in the streets. So this is what it looks like. They've got huge stadiums. People are in buildings watching the parade go by. People dress up in crazy costumes. So that's Carnival in Rio, and that's right before the religious holiday, before people, either give up something or stop partying and drinking and things like that. Um, and a traveling carnival is more like an amusement park that moves from place to place. So in the United States, we've got carnivals, and they're like kind of like fairs, travel around. They have rides, games, booths, and things like that. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Do you understand the difference now, Julio?
Sure, sure. Now
Okay.
I get it.
Oh, okay, perfect. And
Joshua, the difference is the carnival in the United States is not so party like in Brazil. That's it that you were
yeah,
talking about? Oh, okay.
yeah, definitely. In Brazil, it's much more of a party. It's like parades and stuff. Carnivals in the United States are just like traveling amusement parks. Virtually
Oh,
is a good way to describe it.
but the United States, do you have this holiday in the United States as well?
Yeah, especially if you go into the South, you've got Mardi Gras.
Oh, Mardi Gras, okay. In New Orleans, New Orleans.
Uh-huh,
Wow,
exactly. So that would be the same thing as Carnival. Um,
pretty cool.
it's a little bit.
I'm from
Hmm.
Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro. I already went in this kind of party and that this picture, but it's not so fun. Like it could be. Sometimes it can be very busy. Just
Okay, yeah, it definitely fills up. I've heard. Um, okay, good. And let's have David. Can you ask Heidi the second question?
Sure, Joshua. Heidi, have you ever been to a carnival? What was it like?
No, never. I've never been to the carnival.
Okay, what about a fair, Heidi? Have you ever been to a fair or an amusement park?
Amusement park. Yeah, we have amusement park or some festival based on our religion.
Okay,
But
so what was
but
the amusement park like?
amusement park is like Disneyland or uh, another kind of for children, mainly for the children.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Um, I guess what was it like? Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? Did you not have fun? Did you like the rides?
No, I don't like going to the
Okay.
carnival. Carnival maybe it's fun, but not so much for me.
Okay. And Heidi, can you ask Julio the last question here?
What are your favorite things to do at carnival affairs?
Drinking, dancing, watching the floats, watching the beautiful girls dancing, and what else? I guess yeah, eating. I usually take like sandwiches and stuff that I prepare at home and I take them to eat there. Um, yeah, I just have a good time like watching the shows. Sometimes there are some artists, like singers and famous actors that they are named like the king or queen of the carnival, and then sometimes it's nice to, see them dancing or singing or stuff.
Okay, good. And so that's generally like a carnival that you'd see elsewhere in the world, so definitely wouldn't be a carnival for the United States. Generally, if we're talking about carnivals in the United States, we're talking about the other type of traveling carnival. Um, so yeah, just be aware of that. Really good answer though. Um,
All right,
okay, I
gotcha.
think we're good here. So as long as we're good on the difference between carnivals that we're going to be talking about in class today and carnivals in places like Brazil. Um, let's go to the next page and let's have Claudio. Can you read through these words?
Okay, and vocabulary concessions, exhibit, oh, I don't know how to pronounce that, exhibit, and fun house and sideshow. Oh, sorry, just read.
Go ahead.
Sideshow, spectacle, uh, catalyst, both, clown, costume, a mark.
Good. Okay, really good reading. A couple small things. Exhibit,
Exhibit, okay, exhibit,
spectacle,
a spectacle, a spectacle,
yeah.
spectacle.
Catalyst,
Catalyst, catalyst,
and booth.
booth. Oh, not both. Oh, okay, I read wrong.
That's okay. Nice job. Okay, questions about anything on this page? Does anybody have a question?
Yes, I have, teacher. What means booth and catalyst?
Okay, so booth and catalyst. So catalyst actually doesn't have much to do with a carnival. It's going to be a word that we see later on in class. Does anybody know what a catalyst is?
Sure, it's something that causes a rapid change in something else. It can be a substance or a person, a situation.
Exactly. That was a great definition. That was probably better than a definition that I was going to give. Yeah, really nicely done. Okay, and a booth. Does anybody know what a booth is?
It's like a stand, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a stand. So what do you find in a booth, David?
In a carnival booth,
Mm-hmm.
you can, in a carnival booth, you can find food, for example, candies, or maybe you can find carnival games like you win a teddy bear, that kind of games with
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, so you can
with
win stuffed
clowns.
animals. This is a pretty rough image of a carnival booth. So it's just a little stand where you can play games. Um, if you're looking for food or candies, what's another place you can go, David?
The restaurant.
Close. Which one of these
No.
words?
Yes, sure. There is another that is quite the concessions. The
Yeah.
concessions. There are the restaurants.
Yeah, so the concession stands would be the place where you get food generally. Let's look at an image for a concession stand in a carnival. So if we're talking about a concession stand, it's this.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got popcorn, drinks, hot
Uh,
dogs, fried dough.
Popcorns.
Um,
Right.
yeah, those would be concession stands.
Uh-huh. Right.
Okay. And does anybody have any other questions on this page?
Yes, as I show Joshua.
Okay. Does anybody know what a sideshow is?
Sideshow. Is it like the little shows that you have during a carnival? Like, I don't know, a
Yeah.
magician or somebody singing a band or something like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So sideshows are just like oddities on the side. It's not the big main thing. Um, you can have a sideshow in a booth too. Usually you could call them, they used to be called sideshow freaks. So just strange things, strange people. Um, yeah, sideshows were just like the people on the side that you got to see in booths. They were really oddities. Um, this is probably a good fake sideshow, the mermaid. So just a woman fish. They probably just taped something onto her.
The
Um,
bird woman.
yeah. Yep, the bearded woman would be a famous sideshow act. Um, Other ones would be like the human skeleton. Yeah, those are all big famous sideshows. Okay. Any other questions? And Joseph, how's it going? Joseph, how are you doing? Oh, she lost her. Um, all right, what about a mark? Heidi, can you explain what a mark is? And Heidi, your microphone is muted.
Kind of sign,
Sorry.
like sign.
A mark?
Yeah,
It's a little bit different. David, do you remember what a mark is?
Yeah, Joshua. Well, a mark is, for example, when the pirates keep a treasure in some place. So they use the treasure map and they put a mark where they put
Okay.
the treasure.
You're on the right track. We're a little bit off. A mark is a carnival term for a gullible person.
All right, I remember.
So
Yes.
a person who is easily tricked out of their money.
Yeah, sure.
So carnival workers would mark
We-
these people um, for other carnival workers to take advantage of, and they were called marks. All right. And Joseph, how's it going? All right. Maybe not. Let's skip that. Let's start with Julio. Can you read the first sentence and fill in the blank with one of these words?
Sure. I think my favorite um sideshow. Oh no, that would be my favorite. Mm, my favorite booth. It's either the no, I think it's a sideshow. My favorite sideshow is either the House of Mirrors or it's either the Fun House or the House of Mirrors.
Good. Yeah, it's either the Fun House or the House of Mirrors.
I can
I
decide
can't
between them.
decide between them. Exhibit could work as well. My favorite exhibit, my favorite sideshow. Both of those would be fine. So really nice job. Claudia, what about the next one?
Okay. Is the show was quiet? That's it. That's correct.
Nope.
Oh,
This one.
I always buy my kids fried dough and soda at the no at the sideshow stand when
Not at the sideshow.
no. At the, I always buy my kids fried dough and soda at uh, the 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 booth. The, oh, the booth. The concessions. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Concessions. Okay.
At the concession stand.
And
Can you read the whole sentence?
I always buy my kids fried dog and soda at the concession stand when I go to the carnival.
Perfect. David, what about the next one?
Okay, Joshua. The show was quite blank. They must have spent a lot of money on all of those fireworks. The show was quite a spectacle. They must have spent a lot of money on all of those fireworks.
Nice. Heidi, what about the next one?
Hmm. People who played impossible carnival games used to be called impossible carnival games. Mhm. What? Title show? No.
It's
Called to use clown. I'm not sure. To be called what? Because attendants would hit those players back. Mm, that those people are susceptible to tricks. Marks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I don't know, sideshow.
Yeah, sideshow would work. What's another word that could work?
I'm not sure. Some game.
Um, I think we're back.
Something that
Okay. Oh no. Yeah. What word did this match to?
mm-hmm. Booth.
That picture. Yeah. Good. So she'd be a booth attendant. Good. Can you read the whole sentence, Heidi?
People who played impossible carnival games used to be called marks because the booth attendants would hit these players' backs with chalk to advise other workers that those people were susceptible to tricks.
Good. Great pronunciation of susceptible. Julio, what about the last one?
Many people are afraid of clowns. but I think they're funny.
Okay. What do you think about clowns, Julio?
I think they're funny.
Okay. Good. Um, let's look at this quotation. Claudio, can you read the quotation?
Okay, the economic game is not supposed to be rigged like some shady ring toss on Carnival Midway. Ariana Redfington. Oh, I lost some words that rigged and shady.
Rigged.
Rigged.
Rigged and shady.
Shady.
What's rigged mean? Does anybody know what rigged means?
Rick,
Hmm.
um, it is when you put something in order.
Excuse
When
me?
when the game is cheat, i-
Yeah. So,
when the
continue.
game is manipulate, when the boot attendant manipulate the game because it's impossible to win.
Yeah. Game to make it impossible to win. Perfect. And shady. What's shady?
Suspicious.
Hmm. Yeah, so something that's shady, it's a common adjective nowadays. Um, it's suspicious, definitely not upright or forthcoming. It's suspicious, maybe dangerous. Um, yeah, suspect, suspicious. Good. I was trying to find a better word and I couldn't. Okay, good. David, what do you think about this quotation? What's it trying to say?
Let me read. The economic game is not supposed to be rigged like some shady rings, those on a carnival midway. The economic game is not supposed to be rigged like
Rigged.
some
Rigged.
rigged like some shady rings, those on a
Shady.
okay. Sorry, shady?
Shady.
Ah, shady.
So shady and rigged. Yeah.
Shady and well, I guess that she's saying that uh, the economic or the political economic or maybe the politicians um, can't manipulate the economic situation like the booth attendants rig the games as no, sorry as the booth attendants rig the carnival games.
Hmm. Good. Okay. That's exactly, I think, what she's saying. What's her opinion on the fact that that happens, or that she thinks that happens?
What is my opinion about what she says?
What's her opinion? So you're saying
Ah,
she is saying that politicians can manipulate the economic situation, like booth attendants rig carnival games. What's she think about that? The fact that that can happen.
she thinks that is not possible. So she is. I said politician can manipulate. Sorry, I maybe don't pronounce the word.
Maybe she's saying that politicians shouldn't be able to manipulate the economic. Like, how about that?
Okay, works better.
Okay. Um, yeah. And Heidi, do you agree with her or do you disagree with her? What do you think about her quotation?
Yes. Many people want to manipulate a money game, but yeah, sometimes it's successful, but many times they failed. They lost a lot of money. It happened many times, even in the any countries, their national budget is getting worse. They wanted to play the money game, the government, printing out a lot of bills or something, but it's not always successful.
Okay. All right. And Julio, I think what about where you live? She's saying it's not supposed to be. I think it implies that it is. What about where you live? Do you think that the economic game is rigged, or do you think it's pretty fair?
I think it's very rigged, and I think the reason for that is because most of the people just turn their faces away from trying to understand what economy is and how it impacts their lives. And it's also lack of education. The more ignorant we are, the easiest for the politicians and different groups can manipulate us. So it's also like I don't think we can blame it all on politicians, but it's like 50-50. It's also our responsibility to be educated.
Okay, really good. Claudia, what about you? What do you think? Did we lose Claudio? We lost Claudio. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to add to this? Anything else they'd like to say? Or any questions?
Mm. Oh, just one question.
Okay. Yeah.
For example, those attractions like the Ferris wheel and those that require electricity that are like big machines.
Yeah.
What's the name for that? Like rides?
Yeah, those would be rides.
Oh, okay. All right. Thought that
So the
maybe.
Ferris wheel, the roller coaster,
Hmm.
those are all rides.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
What other like rides are or you can find in a carnival?
Merry-go-round, the Da Vinci swings, I think. Swings, um, bumper cars,
The carousel.
carousel.
What is the merry-go-round?
Merry-go-round is pretty much a carousel. It's a smaller version of the carousel. There's a bunch of them though. There's a lot of games too. Um, the Turkish twist, so it spins you in circles. I think is one. What is it? Yeah, I don't know. There's tons of different games with different names wherever you go. So they're all named differently, but those are ones that come to the top of my head. Maybe some famous ones.
What is the
Okay.
name
Any other
of that?
questions?
Yes, what is the name of that game that the machine takes you very high and after when you are in the top, go down very fast? It's very fun.
Yeah. A Star Blaster is one name, at least in the amusement park where I was close to. I'm not sure what they're called. Other ways, in other places. Yeah, Star Blaster is the Kennedy Lake Park. I'm not sure.
Okay.
No, I have a question
Other.
for
Mhm.
everybody. Like, what is the strangest thing you have ever seen in a carnival or fair?
Does anybody have anything strange?
The horror house is the most strange. Or the scary house?
The strangest thing, too, remember, David.
Okay. The
Um,
strangest.
Haunted house,
Haunted.
probably. The haunted house. And Heidi, you haven't been to really any fairs or carnivals, right?
Japanese culture is much different from the European culture, so I don't know about that.
What about you, Julio?
Well, I've seen some really strange things. Like, um, I remember once they have like this, like a small zoo where they have like mutated animals, like a deer with two heads and the rabbit with six legs and stuff like that. And
Oh,
and also there was like a sideshow where a woman was beheaded and then the head was
what?
placed like yeah. And it was all a show, but it looked pretty real. So the woman was beheaded in front of everybody, and they would put the head on like a plate, and a guy will be like holding the plate on his hand and showing the head to everybody, and the head was talking and the eyes were moving and everything. It was very real. It kind of scared me a
Wow,
little bit.
that sounds really frightening. So, hopefully, lots of mirrors and stuff. But yeah, that sounds crazy. Um, all right, let's go on. Let's actually read about a famous sideshow performer. Um, and let's start with Heidi. Can you read the title and the first part?
Uh, Myrin Daho. I'm not sure. Myrin Daho, the invulnerable man.
Yeah,
Born
and hold on. So, just with the title, Invulnerable.
invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then Dajo.
Dajo, Myrin,
Yeah, Mirin Dajo. Yeah,
Myrin Dajo,
more or less. That's what I'm imagining.
the
Okay,
invulnerable man. Born Arnold Hanskes in 1912 in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Miren Dajo, what's that? Whose pseudonym? I'm not sure what may I pronounce. Pseudonym,
pseudonym.
pseudonym, no pronounce P.
Yeah, no P pronunciation.
Pseudonym. A pseudonym he adapted from the Esperanto word for wonder. Was famous primarily for one thing: he could stick a sword and other metal object straight through his body without injury.
Yeah. Swords. Can you repeat swords?
Sword,
Swords.
sword,
Yeah, just get that Z at the end. Swords.
sword.
Good. Julio, can you read the next part?
Although not strictly a sideshow performer, Dayo was in business for himself. The human pincushion is a traditional sideshow act, and Dayo was one of the best at it. According to Dayo himself, he learned the trick from Hindu fakirs, who are known to occasionally pierce their bodies without injury, albeit not the same degree as Dayo. Mm,
Albeit.
albeit, it's like an old English word.
Hmm. It is. Yeah, it's you see it more commonly in written language than in spoken English. But yeah, it's an old word. Um, okay, David, can you read the last part?
Okay, Joshua. Several doctors examined Dayo, even performing X-rays on him, with a sword still sticking through his body. They discovered that the blade was indeed piercing him, though they had no idea how he was able to perform the maneuver without injury. Sorry, my mom is calling me.
I hear that, David. Um, okay, and Heidi, can you finish the this part?
Mhm. Where? Small scar? Where? I'm sorry. Ah, modern, modern researchers believe that he may have created uh, fish, fissuras, small scar funnels through his body over many years of slowly researching that for sword it himself.
Good. Um, all right, yeah. Fistulas, swords into himself. I think you did a good job. So the only things that I saw from David were through and indeed. Um, but yeah, and so if you go up here, you can look at a picture of him with a sword sticking through his body, which is unbelievable. Um, Heidi, would you ever pay money to see something like this?
Pay money?
Yeah.
No,
Would you ever? No.
no, I've
Why
never
not?
paid any money.
And why not?
Oh, it's not trick. Oh, it's kind of training. After training, he could do that.
Yeah. Okay. But so definitely it's not a trick. It's like training.
Yeah,
But yeah.
after
So
training, it's the same as, for example, Michael Jordan can stop
yeah.
on the air like that. I don't pay any
Yeah.
money to Michael Jordan.
Okay. Okay. Good. And what about you, Julio?
Oh, totally. I
No.
enjoy a good. Oh, yes, of course. I enjoy a good
Okay.
freak show,
Okay.
and this very impressive, really. And I would be like really impressed if he would be smoking a cigarette, and you could see the smoke like coming out of the womb. That would
Oh
be pretty
man,
cool.
that would be unbelievable. I'm sure he'd probably bleed if the smoke could actually come out. I think yeah, like the fistulas, it's kind of like a scar tunnel, so probably closes everything out. But man, yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. Um, all right, yeah, good grammar uh, from both of you guys. Okay.
Yeah, there was another kind of person in Japan. He had three different colored ball, white, blue, pink. Then he swallowed all balls. After that, what ball do you want to see? Then the audience said, pink. He can emit a pink ball.
Okay, so he eats the balls?
Yes, yes. He put
Oh
the
man.
ball in his stomach once.
Okay. And he can bring up the color that the audience asks
Yes,
for.
yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Wow, I don't know how you would do that. That sounds completely completely on just astounding. Julio,
I,
have you ever seen anything like that?
No, but what I wonder is, for example, this guy or that guy that Hade is talking about is how did they learn to do that? I mean, like, did they just start, or this guy just start stabbing himself just for fun, or did he receive any training, or how do they have the guts to get something through your body for the first time? That's scary.
I don't know. That is scary. I'm sure it's like little by little. So you just stab yourself a little bit, have a scar tissue, stab yourself some more scar tissue. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's pretty messed up.
Joshua, what's the
Really
strangest
crazy.
stuff you have seen in a freak show?
To be honest, I haven't really ever been to a carnival. Um, at least nothing outstanding that I can remember. All pretty basic ones, just rides and stuff. My mother never really took me. She didn't like carnivals very much. Um,
Okay.
but yeah. Um, okay. So we are just about out of time. Uh, do you guys have any questions or last comments or anything else you'd like to say?
I have a pronunciation question that I've been asking myself lately, and I don't know if you can just give me a pointer very quickly. What is
Hmm.
the difference in the pronunciation in I'm gonna tell it.
Of what?
It's on the verbally chat.
Okay. So lock, lock. Like maybe with a that lock is the first one, and lack. It's got like a short A.
Okay.
Can you read those two?
Sure, sure. So I guess one is a little bit more like an O. The first one like lock, and there will be like lack.
Hmm. Yeah, lock and lack. Perfect.
All right. Thank you, thank you. It was like bugging me. It's been bugging me
No
lately.
worries. It's one of the worst things. You got one of those words that you just can't pronounce. All right. Thanks for coming in again. And yeah, see you guys soon.
Thank you, Joshua. Great
Thank
class.
you.